Good morning, students. Today I am going to teach you English grammar, that is time and tense. This class is meant for both class 9 and 10, but learners of all classes may follow it. Okay? So, listen to me carefully and try your best to understand. Now, open your rough copy and write down the important tips. My dear students, in English, most of the learners get confused with time and tense. But we all are very familiar with the concept of time. We know a popular proverb, time and tide waits for none. That means the flow of time is a continuous and unending process. In all languages, we have divided time into three sections, that is, the past, the present, and the future. Now it is 10:30 am. I am teaching you English grammar. So this time is present time. So the present is the period of time that is with us now. But what is past time? The first is the period of time that has passed or gone by. Now it is 10:30. So the time period before this 10:30 is past time. Now I am teaching you. But at 7:30 I was taking my breakfast. It is past time. But the time which is yet to come is the future. At 1:30 p.m. I will take my lunch. That time hasn't come yet. So it is future time. In simple, now it is 10:30. So it is present time. The time before now or before 10:30 is past time, and the time after 10:30 is future time. So now is present time, before now is past time, and after now is future time. Let's clear our doubt by a timeline. Just have a look. This is a timeline. Look at the middle part, the red point. It shows now it is 10:30. So it is present time. Now look at its left side, the black part. It shows the before time of 10:30. So it is past time. Now look at the right side, the green part. It shows the time after 10:30. So it is future time. The arrow marks at the both of the sides represent the unending period of time. We express time in terms of year, month, day, hour, minutes, and seconds. My dear students, I think now you are very much clear about the concept of time. But what is tense? Tense is totally a different concept, and it has no similarity with time. Many of us are always confused with the difference between time and tense. Tense is nothing but a verb form specific to a language and is used to express any time. Mind it, tense is a verb form to express time. So, in English, verbs have only two forms, that is, present and past. Okay? Let's have an example. Suppose a verb go. Go denotes the action in present time Its second form is went, which denotes the action in past time. But is there any form of go which can denote the action in future time? No. Its third form is gone, which is past participle. It denotes other than the time. My dear students, one thing you should remember that in all languages, time has three forms. That is the past, the present and the future. But tense is not same. Let's analyze it in Odia. ଧରାଯାଉ ଓଡ଼ିଆରେ ଏକ ଭର୍ବ ବା ମୂଳ କ୍ରିୟା ଖାଇବା। ଏହି କ୍ରିୟାର ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ କାଳ ଖାଏ ବା ଖାଉଛି, ଅତୀତ କାଳ ଖାଇଲି ବା ଖାଉଥିଲି, ଭବିଷ୍ୟତ କାଳ ଖାଇବି ବା ଖାଉଥିବି ବା ଖାଇଥିବି। ଦେଖ ସବୁ କାଳରେ ସେଇ ଖାଇବାରୁ ଖାଏ, ଖାଉଥିଲି, ଖାଇବି ଆସିଛି, ଡିରାଇଭ୍ ହେଇଛି। ନାଉ ଲେଟ୍ସ ଆନାଲାଇଜ ଇଟ୍ ଇନ୍ ହିନ୍ଦୀ। इन प्रेजेंट टाइम खाता व खा रहा हूं। इन पास्ट टेंस खाया, खाया था। इन फ्यूचर टेंस खाऊंगा। लेट्स एनालाइज इट इन संस्कृत। संस्कृत आम गम धातु आम उदाहरण नबू। इन प्रेजेंट टेंस गच्छति। इन पास्ट टेंस अगच्छत। इन फ्यूचर टेंस गमिष्यति। तेणु पिला माने गोटे कथा लक्ष्य कर जे ओडिया, हिंदी बा संस्कृत रे तीनोटी काल को बुझाइबा पई प्रति क्रिया रे तीनोटी रूप अछि, किंतु इंग्लिश रे क्रिया मानकर एमिति कोनोसी रूप नाही जहा भविष्यत काल को बुझाउथिबो। तेणु इंग्लिश रे क्रियार रूप बा टेंस दुई प्रकारर, present tense and past tense. And in English there is no future tense. In English there is no future tense. Rather we use various expressions to denote future time actions or states in English. Let's have some examples. I shall go to Delhi. Madan will come from Surat. Priti is going to the USA tomorrow. The match starts at 4 p.m. I will be watching a cinema at 9 p.m. We are to paint this wall. My dear students, look carefully. In first sentence, shall plus go jointly denote the action in future time, but shall and go are in present tense. In second sentence, will plus come together denote the action in future time, but will or come are in present tense. In third sentence, only the verb group is going represents the sentence in future. Rather, the time adverb tomorrow after the verb group denotes the future time. The verbs is or going are in present tense. Like this, in fourth, fifth and sixth sentences, all the verbs are in present tense, but the actions are in future time. Hence, now we are clear that in English, tense is divided into two types. One is present tense and the another is past tense. There is no future tense. My dear students, you have already got that there are two types of tense, but each tense has four aspects. Those are, what are those? What are those four aspects? The first one is neither perfect nor progressive. That means simple. The second one is progressive. The third one is perfect. And the fourth one is both perfect and progressive. And you can say perfect progressive. Okay? The first one is simple. The second one is progressive. The third one is perfect. The fourth one is perfect progressive. Now, my dear students, let's have a look on this chart. Tense is divided into two types. One is present, another is past. Again, present tense, it has four aspects: present simple, present progressive, present perfect, and present perfect progressive. The second tense is past, and it has four aspects: past simple, past progressive, past perfect, and past perfect progressive. All these 8 combinations of a verb are possible, and with the help of these combinations we speak of actions in all the 3 phases of time, that is present time, past time, and future time. We can make any sentence in present time, past time, or future time by using these 8 combinations. Okay? Now we will discuss about the 3 times. At first, expressions of present time, then expressions of past time, at last expressions of future time. But my dear students, I think before we enter into these 3 expressions, you should be taught about person and number. It is very useful to learn person and number in English before the learning of tense. Look at the chart. There are 3 types of person in English: first person, second person, and third person. And as per the grammatical term number is concerned, each person is divided into 2 numbers. One is singular and the other is plural. Students, look at the row of first person. First person singular is I and plural is we. Always the speaker is the first person. Who speaks, who delivers speech, who teaches, who advises. It is the first person. Mainly it is I or we. I denotes a single person and we denotes more than one. That is plural. In second person, both singular and plural is you. You denotes both a single person and more than one person. Now look at the row of third person. In singular column, you can find he, she, it, this, that, etc. The plural form of he and she is they. The plural form of it or this is these, and the plural form of that is those. Besides these pronouns, all the names, animals, things, and objects belong to this third person. My dear students, in shortcut, we can say besides I, we, and you, all are third person. I, we ଏବଂ you କୁ ଛାଡ଼ି ଦୁନିଆରେ ଆଉ ବାକି ଯାହା ବି ରହିଲା ସେ ସବୁ third person ଅଟନ୍ତି. Their singular number is called singular and more than one number is called plural number. That means third person plural. Now look at the difference among these persons. The first person denotes the speaker who speaks. The second person denotes the person spoken to. And the third person denotes the person or thing spoken of, about whom the speaker is speaking. That is called third person. Now, let's have an example. Teacher said, I am going to teach you grammar. Here teacher is the speaker. So I denotes to the teacher and it is the first person. Teacher said, you should labor hard. Teacher told whom? Who was sitting in front of the teacher? Yes, the students. Here the teacher advised the students. So, you denotes to the students and it is the second person. Teacher said, Sabita is my daughter. Here, Sabita is not in the classroom. The teacher gave this information to the students, but not to Sabita. The information was about Sabita, but not to Sabita. So, Sabita is third person. I think now you are very much clear about person and number. Before I enter into the time and tense, my students, there is also one more thing left to be discussed. That is verbs. The clear knowledge on verbs must help us to go through the tense easily. So students, read these sentences. Coronavirus spreads everywhere. I wash my hands for 20 seconds. Shyam always wears a mask. It was the lockdown period of 2.0. The PM of India declared Janta curfew. Now mark the underlined words carefully. What do they say about? They say about what someone does or what happens. These words are called verbs, and these single verbs are called main verbs. Now look at some more sentences. He is washing his hands. Seema has lost her mask. I have been wearing this mask since last month. What do you find here? Here you find examples of multi-word verbs. The underlines contain more than one verb. It is called a verb group. In a verb group, the last verb is the main verb and the preceding verbs or before verbs are called auxiliary verbs. Now let's have a table of verbs. Verbs are divided mainly into two parts. One is main verb and the other is auxiliary verb. The main verbs denotes an action or a state. It has three forms: first form or present form, second form or past form, and third form or past participle form. There are thousands of main verbs. You should learn these main verbs with there are three forms, as many as possible. Now come to the auxiliary side. Auxiliary verbs are divided mainly into two types. One is primary auxiliary and the another one is modal auxiliary or simply modals. You can say only modals. Now have a look on primary auxiliary. There are three types of primary auxiliary: be verb, have verb, and do verb. Be verb consists of is, am, are, was, were, be, being, been. The past tense of is and am is was, and the past tense of are is were. So, be verb consists of 8 auxiliaries. Similarly, have verb consists of 3 auxiliaries. Those are has, have and had. Has and have are in present tense and had is in past tense. The last verb is do. Do also consists of 3 auxiliaries. Do, does and did. Do and does are in present tense and their past tense is did. Now come to modal auxiliaries or modals. Some modals are in present forms and some are in past forms. These are will, would, shall, should, can, could, may, might, need, dare, must, ought to and used to. My dear students, look one thing. There is no past tense of need, dare, must and ought to. And there is no present tense of used to. So, there are 14 primary auxiliaries and 13 modals. So, there are 27 auxiliaries in total in our English grammar. I just advise you to remember these 27 auxiliary verbs permanently. So, my dear students, today we discussed about the concept and types of time and tense. We also discussed about person and number and also about types of verbs. In next class, we will discuss about tense and its aspects. That is, expression of the present time, the past time and the future time. Okay? Thank you.